Hey dudes, I'm John Shorts, this is Ryan Gillette, we're from Canberra MMA, and today I really want to show my pet peeve in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. I call it like the best, worst submission in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, and that is the guillotine. It's the most frequently poorly done thing ever, and I think the reason is it looks like a really simple move. I'll show you the guillotine, I'll do it on my left hand. You grab their head, you choke it around them, and if you're lucky you can get them to tap standing up, or you sit down, you choke their neck here, they can't breathe, they can't get blood to their head, and they go to sleep. It looks really simple, and I think that's the reason it's done so badly, is it looks simple, and it's also kind of pops up everywhere. It's a really versatile move, so guys, Ryan will shoot a single leg or a double leg, if he's trying to take me down, I look and I go, oh, there's a head there, I know a move where I grab his head. Like I'm here, and I'll sit down, pull my guard. So it's everywhere, like you see it on the ground. But I think the hidden problem with this move is actually a lot of guys who do it have about a 5% finish rate on it. And that's probably being generous. And what it does, most of the time if you hit it from standing, is it takes you from standing to on the ground, which in Jiu-Jitsu might or might not be bad. In MMA, it's basically guaranteed pretty bad. So let's say we're here, we're striking, maybe he shoots in on the shot, or maybe we're clinching up here, and I grab a guillotine because I see his head there. I get him in the guard, I squeeze for all my strength, and then what always happens every time you just see this is his head will start to pop out, and now we're here. And this is a disaster. This is a really bad position. It's not like Jiu-Jitsu where you can sort of play your guard here and get your submissions. This is a really dangerous position to be. So we went from a relatively neutral position standing to me being in a disastrous position. So what happens is guys will do this submission and even as a viewer or as the guy doing it, you're like, oh, that looks really close. He almost got that. He almost won the match. Whereas often the guy in the guillotine, he's uncomfortable, but he knows, oh, actually, I'm not going to get tapped here. And then what happens is he gets out, and you watch a lot of MMA, and actually a lot of fights are won from one person pulling a poorly advised guillotine and ending up on the bottom, and then getting TK'd on the ground. And then you say to yourself, oh, it's because he was on the ground and he got TK'd, but why was he on the ground? Because he pulled a bad guillotine. So it's a move that loses a lot of matches. In MMA, in Jiu-Jitsu too, you can have a similar effect, particularly at the lower belt levels where they'll grab at this head willy-nilly and they'll end up giving up the takedown. So maybe we're here, we're grappling, I grab the head and I don't have it, he puts me down. Yes, I lose the guillotine on the way down, or maybe I have it and I try to finish it. Same thing again, please. I grab it, he puts me down. I'm squeezing, he's past my legs now. So as soon as this lets go, he's got a takedown, he's past my legs. I'm probably going to lose the match because of that, unless I'm a bit better than him and I can get back to guard and play from there. It's an awful way to start a match, is giving up a takedown, giving them the option to pass your legs. So, instead of this all being doom and gloom, we're going to look at some ways to fix it, and that is basically finding ways to control his head a little bit more and not jumping too quickly. So, I'll do it on my right arm because I'm a lot better with the right arm guillotine. If I get this here, I can't just let him have good, strong posture here. Yeah, see, he can start to sit up, he can pick me up, he can duck out the back door. It's often interesting to look at what other similar combat sports do with this sort of stuff. And in wrestling, where the name of the game is to take the guy down, it's a cardinal sin to reach over this guy's head like this. You never do it. You keep your elbows closed when you come to front headlocks in wrestling. You grab the head, you close this elbow, you curl his head down, you put weight down. So now try to go around the back. A lot harder. Try to duck out. A lot harder. So the reason they don't do that is this is not a strong position for me here. So we can use that in our MMA and in our Jiu-Jitsu. So when we get a guillotine, first rule is I don't reach for it if it's not there. If he's in good posture, it's very risky for me to take a guillotine. So here, his shoulders are above his knees, he's in strong position. He looks like if we put a barbell in front of him, he could do a deadlift. That's good posture, right? So if I come here, I'm going to be that barbell, he's going to lift me or he's going to get out of there. So where you want to go for your guillotines is you set it up, maybe you fake the leg. See his posture now. He's all curled up, his shoulders are in front of his knees, not so good, and now I'm closing this elbow. Right, so now I've actually set up my guillotine. I'm not reaching over. Look again, I'm not reaching over against his good posture. I'm off balancing him first. So I'm drawing his head forward, getting him uncomfortable. Same thing in MMA. Let's say we're in a clinch or something like that. I am not going to just reach over the top of this head here. I'm going to find a way to get this head out of position. Now I can reach over it. See, he's all curled up, not so good now. Now when we get there, we're not just going to rapidly jump onto the bottom. We're going to secure the choke as much as we can while he's still standing. So I'm here. The temptation that everyone does is they'll jump here, grab this, and maybe he starts to free it up. I have to be quite strong to finish this guillotine. Because even here, look at his back. It's relatively straight. Like he's actually got decent posture here. Because what I want his head curled up. I want my shoulder up behind here. I want him squirreled all up in a little ball. That's the guillotine I'm going to finish. That's the guillotine I'm going to set up before I go to the ground. So I'm here. Boom, I'm closing this elbow. I'm curling his head as much as I can. Now I actually prefer not to sit to the bottom because you've got other options where he ends up on the bottom or on his side. Common one, well, maybe we'll just show one today. Common one is the cow catcher, which is old move from wrestling. You reach under this armpit and across as far as you can. And you put him down here. Because you can actually finish this same guillotine from on the top. But also, if I've put him down here, he's in a bad spot. He's got to start to come up on the top. As he comes up, I can curl him, get him very uncomfortable, and actually get the tap there. So I'm taking his balance. Other good examples are guys flipping them over, throwing them. I'm not just sitting down against his good posture. So we want his head curled, curled, curled. We want him very uncomfortable before we start to put our position down. Cool. You can also, here, get him out of position. I can drag him down to here. Set up my guillotine more from here. And again, I can try to flip him, or if I really want to finish it on the bottom, I can maybe do that from here. But I'd have a good think about finding a couple of finishes where you flip them over, finish the guillotine from on top. And a little game I play in my head with any submission in MMA or Jiu-Jitsu or whatever, make sure you keep track of when that submission fails and where you end up afterwards, because it's really easy to delude yourself and say, oh, I nearly had that one, you know, that was close, I almost won. Yeah, I'm in a bad position, but I almost won. Well, if you lose because of that bad position, then it's not that you did a move that made you almost win, it's you did a move that guaranteed made you lose. So have a think about where you end up after the submissions you go for and what your finish percentage rate is on those submissions. If it's a lot lower than your chance of ending up in a bad position, you should rethink how you're doing it. Cool.
Thanks.
Yo.